did get one request. Unfortunately, I had to cancel that booking, but they brought me like cat ears, and they wanted me to like drink milk out of like a little bowl and basically pretend to be a cat. Yeah, that was odd, but it's not the oddest one I've ever had. Done a couple of different things. I worked in a hospital ages ago as a healthcare assistant, and then I was training for my chartered accountancy. I worked in finance and banking for 6 years actually. I had a series alongside this of like serious monogamous relationships, and then when I ended my sort of last long-term one I found myself single and really curious to experiment sexually a lot more. So I started going to these sex parties in London. There's this brand called Killing Kittens. It's quite well known. It's just basically like a sex party event. A lot of couples, swingers, and single girls can go. So I went as a single girl. That sort of launched me into kind of like this kind of sex hedonistic kind of lifestyle a little bit. And I was going to a lot of these parties and meeting a lot of different kind of people. And then sort of by a weird turn of events over COVID, I needed somewhere to live. And I sort of ended up living in that kind of mansion. And then when I moved in there, I actually was living with about 5 other escorts, which was really funny. Because I sort of turned up and they were like, oh, what are you doing? Like, are you working like a working girl too? And I was like, no, I'm an accountant. I became really good friends with a few of them, and one of them who's still kind of my mentor today. And she introduced me to the job because I guess I just saw them like really enjoy themselves, and I was really curious about it as well. And I thought, you know, I'll give it a go, see what it's like. You know, if they're having a fun time, maybe I'll have a fun time. You know, gave it a go and then sort of fell in love with it really. My first ever client, I still remember him. He was quite a good looking guy. I think he was around 30, dressed quite well, smart, smelled clean. Yeah, honestly, the whole time I was like sweating, like I was so nervous, which was ridiculous because I'd had so much sex before, and like I'd had one night stands before, everything like that. So it almost felt like, why was I so nervous over suddenly just like another hookup? But you know, it's paid for it. Why was I so nervous about it? But it was fine. I had a good time. He was a good client. Paid me for an hour. We had fun, had sex, and then left after half an hour. So yeah, it was great. And I was there with the money, being like, wow, like I can actually do this, I guess.
And what does your like profile say? Is it kind of like you will do this, and this?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like just says like my rates, and it says, look, this is what I do, this is what I offer. So I offer sex with condom or without condom, anal for £50 extra, come in mouth. Like I put what I don't like. I hate facials, for example. I put I don't do that, and I sort of put like anything extra kinky or taboo, like considered on request, because they tend to be a bit more niche requests. So just depending on what they ask me for, yeah.
And talk us through a usual booking for you. What does that look like?
So the usual booking, like most people book for an hour. You know, I won't have met them before or anything like that, because I get a lot of new clients. Maybe, you know, obviously I do get regulars as well, but, you know, they'll send a message like, oh, I want to see you at this time for this long, and maybe if they have a special request, like they want me to dress in, I don't know, in a schoolgirl outfit or do a certain role play, and I'll sort of say yes, no, whatever. And then, yeah, they'll come to the door and, like, I'll let them in, greet them, offer them a shower if they haven't already showered. And then, yeah, they'll come straight into my room. I'll already be, like, half naked in lingerie or anyway. And, yeah, we'll just kind of just take it from there. It usually flows really naturally, you know, just start off kissing, and start off, like, then suck their or, like, see what they want to do, if they want to take the lead, and then end up having sex. 1 hour you can usually fit in 2 rounds. So you usually sort of have 1 round, have a little break, give them a massage until they're ready to go again.
And do you have any regulars?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do have quite a lot of regulars. I mean, anal's quite popular because I think I kind of fit in a niche of like a lot of Asian girls don't really offer anal. So I get a lot of anal requests, which is, yeah, quite fun, I guess. But not so fun when they're too big.
Could you explain how the different ethnic groups are treated in your industry?
Yeah, I mean, from the ethnic, like the African women I've known who are sex workers, I like have heard that they get a lot less business. And yeah, so which is a shame, I think. And, you know, as well, even for me, like, again, compared to like a white Caucasian lady, like I kind of have seen how busy she gets, and I am less busy than her, definitely, as well. So, you know, people do like race play as well. I do get some requests for that. So yeah, it can definitely be fetishized in that way.
What are the different role plays and things you've done for people?
Some odd ones have been like like foot fetish kind of people, which are great fun because it's like quite easy because I just lie back and basically get a foot massage. But there was this one who liked like literally licking the dirt off my feet. So he'd like message me and be like, look, can you go to the gym, or have you been to the gym, or have you been for a walk outside with like no socks on, or make sure you haven't showered. So I'd feel a bit gross because obviously I like showering, but he'd love it. So whatever, it's fine. But schoolgirl is quite a popular one. I think it's like the Asian schoolgirl look. Like if they ask for like the black set of lingerie, I mean, for example, I've done a photo shoot in this outfit. So yeah, some people quite like to see me in this. It's just, yeah, I don't know, it's just a 3-piece suspender. I think I got it from Ann Summers, and fishnets and just my stripper heels. I did get one request. Unfortunately, I had to cancel that booking, but they brought me like cat ears, and they wanted me to like drink milk out of like a little bowl and basically pretend to be a cat. Yeah, that was odd, but it's not the oddest one I've ever had. And I have a butt plug with like a fairy tale on, which I know some people quite like.
Are you in a relationship at the moment?
No, but I date kind of like openly and like casually a lot, so I have quite like a few lovers, and I guess, but no, not anything serious.
And do you talk to them about your job?
Yeah, I'm completely open with my job. Like everyone I know who knows me on like a personal level knows what I do, so yeah, they're absolutely aware of it. It only really becomes a problem obviously if you get kind of feelings and that you want like something serious with someone like me who's in my kind of industry, but everything up until then, most people are quite chilled out, yeah.
Does your job make it difficult having a personal relationship of your own?
Yeah, immensely. I mean, I don't know, yeah, I feel like it's something I've kind of committed myself to not bothering with while I do this job, because I actually kind of wouldn't want to do that to someone. Like it's, you know, I'm not going to be there for like a lot of evenings, or like I'm going to be away at other guys' apartments a lot, or like, you know, I don't have the kind of time, or I'm not around in that kind of way for something that's more serious either, and yeah, it would be difficult. You know, like for example, you couldn't even like live with your partner, right? Because you kind of always like, I need my own place to do my job out of, and how can you live with someone when you need to be like taking clients into your apartment, right? So you can't even do things like that.
What would you say is the most difficult part of what you do?
Difficult part? I don't know. I just love it so much. I'm not sure what's difficult about it. I don't know. Sometimes, like, probably physically, like, after a day, it can be tiring as well. I think I mentioned if I'm doing like, a lot of anal sex and they have quite, like, big, then it can be quite, like, yeah, physically challenging to, like, take it, I guess, sometimes, or if they just go quite hard. Or sometimes you can get, you know, people just being a little bit disrespectful, but it doesn't happen often. But I feel like any client-facing job, you can get that anyway.
Have you ever had to kind of stop halfway? Because
yeah, I think, well, this happened ages ago. I think it's because I was quite new to the job. I think it's about, like, literally 1 month in, and I had the client, which I don't know, something about their attitude and the way they were having sex with me, like, they were forcing me, like, making me gag quite a lot, and I wasn't really enjoying it, and it just was, like, yeah, making me really uncomfortable, and I sort of freaked out a bit, and then, like, asked them to stop, and they kept trying to, like, force me to, like, take that. And anyway, I kicked them out, but, yeah, I think I was quite new at that point, so I think I just freaked out and I didn't know how to handle it.
did you see them again?
That's kind of the good thing about the job as well, is like I think people assume that I see people who I don't like, or I'm forced to do things I don't like. I just refuse to do things if I don't like it, or I just don't see them again if I don't like them. But yeah, I've definitely had irritating ones who've made weird racist comments or just said stuff that's kind of offensive or been a bit disrespectful, and I just don't see them again.
Do you ever feel judged by people because of your work?
Sometimes, a little bit. I think the way I am is because I'm so open about it, I'm so willing to explain it, and I guess probably it helps as well. I've done like other things, like I've had education or whatever, like people won't really judge me because it's not like, this isn't like the whole of my life. I've done other things, but I definitely do feel like if maybe if it was just the whole of my life, or maybe if I didn't have as much education, it's very, very easy to quickly judge. And yeah, some people definitely feel uncomfortable talking about it, or just find my life, they find the fact that I love it and have chosen this life like really, really bizarre and just incomprehensible.
But why do you think your so successful at it and others might not be?
I don't know. I think you've got to love it. Like, because I met a few escorts who didn't really love the job, and I always questioned why or like how anyone would enjoy seeing them if you it's clearly someone who's not enjoying doing it. So I think a natural, hopefully, love for sex should kind of come with the territory, really. And yeah, just hopefully, yeah, good with people. That's probably helps. But
And where do you see yourself kind of in the future of your work?
well, I'm definitely going to be continuing this for as long as I enjoy it, which I mean, it could be a few years, it could be longer than that. But ever since being self-employed, I don't think I'd go back to being employed again. So I think eventually I'll kind of use the kind of money I've saved to just have my own business and something instead.
And what are the things you love about what you do?
I really love it when, obviously, just as me just being a teenage girl, right? When I get really nice hot clients that make me orgasm really, really well. I love that. Or like when they just give me a great time. I mean, who doesn't love that when they give, yeah, you know, basically, you know, some days, like maybe if I have a great day, this would be a great day for me. It's like if I get like 3 or 4 orgasms in a day from my clients, I'm like, yes, I feel amazing.
It's a lot firmer than a wooden cane that people traditionally use. And it's, yeah, it leaves some very nice welts, which I love making marks on men's bottoms.